Welcome to TorontoTv. Tonight's program is called Canadian Business. I'm your host tonight. I'm Stuart Browne. Tonight we are happy that Stuart Browne and also Wong to our studio, and they both are entrepreneurs and they both have passion. Okay, so let me talk to Stuart first. I know that you are the entrepreneur for film production. Okay, and then according to your bio, you make hundreds of amateur movies before, and you did. Finished a professional short film. So what is it? What kind of why you like film that much? What makes you?
With filmmaking, it's almost like filmmaking chose me as opposed to me choosing filmmaking. Okay. Ever since I was very young, my brothers and I used to make movies with our father's video camera, and we got our friends involved. We would write scripts and get costumes and that sort of thing. Okay. And so we would just film, and we just kept experimenting with all different genres of filmmaking, including animation, horror, and suspense, and that sort of thing, drama as well.
So you're basically a self-learned producer?
Yeah, that's right. I basically taught myself. I didn't even take film class. I actually studied business. Okay. But because I'm so passionate about filmmaking, I figured I could just learn that on my own a lot easier than learning something like business on my own, which I'm also very interested in.
So you have some kind of talents on filmmaking? That's
right, yeah, because my talent's very much on the filmmaking side, so it comes to me more naturally.
Okay. So talk about your short film. It's called Tom and Dumb Gossip. What's that movie?
This movie is about two fraudulent stockbrokers who battle over who can stoop the lowest to get a bonus, and it's a dark comedy.
Okay. And then you are the writer, director, producer?
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's right. And actually, I got the idea when I was actually in Thailand. I met a friend of mine who used to work for a boiler room, which is a fraudulent investment company. Yeah. And they operate in Thailand because it's very easy to get away with that sort of thing because their laws are very not as strict as in Canada, for example. Okay. And anyways, the people that worked with this friend of mine took great pleasure in ripping other people off. And so, it didn't matter if it was an old lady who was saving up for her kids' inheritance,
or saving that,
somebody who's poor, who just has a little bit of money left over for food. Whoever they could find, they would befriend them, gain their trust, and then somehow completely deplete all of their savings and all of their money.
And kind of vulture thing.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They're like vultures. Yeah. And the whole thing to them, it was like a big joke, like a big game. Like they didn't really care about the people they were hurting or anything else. Okay. And they would always brag to each other. And like the worst, the most illest and deceitful ways they could rip people off would be the biggest thing to brag about among the employees. So it was very crazy, and that's what compelled me to make this movie and write it. It just seemed like such a crazy story and crazy way for people to be behaving that I just had to get it on film.
I see. This short film is classified as dark comedy.
Yeah, that's right, dark comedy.
So that means even on some people's journey, we still can laugh.
That's right. People doing bad things, but somehow it's funny.
It's funny. And I know Will is in this short film. So what's the role you're playing in this film?
I had the role of a character called Spunker. Spunker is a lot like me because I work in a day job in the office, and taking orders, and just I want to be everybody's best friend. Okay. But at the same time, I'm also not really in on the joke of what's going on in the office. It was a fun character to play. I love to laugh. Okay. So the further roles that are comedies, I like making people laugh. So it was a really fun experience. Yeah. For the longest time I didn't act, but it was something I love. Film. I love watching movies. The film festivals here recently. I took a week off work to watch 10 movies. So I'm very passionate about film. So definitely, acting is always something I wanted to pursue further. But I've been very busy with music, so I never really had a chance to do it. So last year I just took a 10-week intensive acting training course with a school called Sears and Switzer. They're downtown. They taught a lot of famous actors like Julia Roberts, Jim Carrey. They've all studied under that school. Okay. They've come to Canada to learn from these instructors.
So probably the same. You're following the same path with them.
Well, maybe not as big as them, but you know, I do want to improve myself and get myself to the next level.
Yeah. And I know that this is your second movie, is that right? Or?
Yeah, it's my second short film.
Yeah. So back to you, Stuart. Say, from day one, like start to write the script or write the story, and then going to produce it. How will it take?
Let's see. I think in total, it took me about 6 months.
6 months.
At conception of the idea, sitting down, writing the whole thing out. There was a lot of time where I just, I knew that I had this idea. I wanted to make a movie about these fraudulent stockbrokers and how they rip people off. But I had to figure out, how can I turn this crazy idea into a movie that works? So it's got to fit.
Visually communicatable, right?
Yeah, it's got to be communicatable, but it's also got to fit that standard filmmaking paradigm. So the audience will be more accepting of it. Because I can't just do a movie about a bunch of people who rip off less fortunate people and then it just ends. There's got to be some type of retribution. There's got to be characters who conflict and they have other kind of values. It's got to be dramatized. It's got to have suspense. It's I almost don't want to know, but I think it's in between $5,000 to $7,000, which is, from what I hear, very cheap. And I was very lucky because I was able to get veterans from the industry. All of my crew were completely professional filmmakers, cinematographers, gaffers, people who do lighting and sound. And because I shot my movie during the down season in Toronto, which is like in the fall to winter.
Last year?
Yeah, that's right, last year. Then there's a lot of people who don't have work and they want to keep their skill up to par, so they'll be more likely to take on projects even if it's not paying. Plus, if they believe in the script, they believe in the director,
they believe in you,
they believe in me, then they'd be more apt to do something like work for free. So all of my expenses were basically equipment and food and transportation, that sort of thing.
And then is the short film take or make here in Toronto?
What story?
I mean, it's produced in Toronto, or?
Yeah, it was made in the Toronto area. It was actually shot at my family's office in Markham.
So through this 6 months experience, what's your feeling? Say?
Oh, it was
fatigue or really satisfied?
Right at the end of the 6 months. To be honest, I was exhausted during much of the process because this whole movie became an obsession for me. I could not sleep, drink, eat, or whatever until I had this movie done. That's all I cared about, was just finishing this movie. So if there was 1 minute where I was sitting at my desk or sitting at home and I wasn't working on the movie, I'd be like going through all of my notes, all of my contacts to find out, like, am I using my time effectively to finish this film? So yeah, that's basically it. I just completely focused on my movie and nothing but until the thing was finished.
So what about you, Will? Right? I know Stuart bears everything, right? Takes everything into his one hand, two hands. What about you? So you only acting, so what, you share the passion and the joy with Stuart, or?
Oh, I had a great time. We shot I think the film was shot over a series of 2 days.
That's right, over one weekend.
So basically I arrived on set probably around 10 o'clock in the morning. We worked all the way up 1 or 2, 3 in the morning. We wrapped it up. But for 1 day of shooting, we got a lot accomplished, and you can only get that done with professional people, working with you. And it's hard getting a lot, because you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. People didn't. Because I remember when I was shooting my scenes, that there's times I just had to cut, start over. And everyone was very patient with me. Stuart was very patient with me. They came up with a pretty good product. They edited it very well to make it look like, I look professional at the end of these mistakes.
So you're professional.
I look professional because I have a good crew, I guess.
Well, no, he did a really good job. And it wasn't like, as Will mentioned, the professionalism of the people involved with the movie, it's definitely a huge part to getting finished and it getting done well. But in addition to that, it's everybody's dedication to the project.
I see.
Like, my cinematographer was working constantly. Every single minute he was either setting up the lighting or filming. The sound guy was always on set. And so we were working every single minute because we only had the weekend to shoot the whole movie. So we had to get it right every single time.
Yeah.
So when everybody was on set, everybody who was working there, the actors and the crew, it really seemed like a well-oiled, well-tuned machine. Everybody was doing their specific job when they're supposed to be doing it. And that just made the whole thing run so smoothly. And another thing I really liked while I was working on the movie is that everybody was having fun while they were making it. It was kind of like a party almost.
Okay.
I really enjoyed, like I would be sitting there directing a scene, and I'd be getting hungry and be like, all right, I gotta walk around a bit. I've been shooting for like 5 hours straight. So I get up and then I go into the lunchroom and I see that all the food is completely catered and set up right because I'm my production assistant. Nobody asked him to do it. He just made all this huge arrangement with all the food, made it look really nice. And then there were people talking to each other, drinking and stuff like that, having a good time.
But this is the first short film. That means all the, like you say, all the crew members, they're first time working together, right? What about the synchronizing, understanding each other?
I think maybe one or two of them have worked together before, but for the most part, nobody knew each other before we started the pre-production.
But they're professionals. Once they are a team,
that's right. Everything just fell into place. It was amazing.
The film circle in Toronto is very small. It's a small film community. You're going to wind up working with people. You know, you work on one set eventually. Again, it's a small circle.
People like that, people each other. And I know that you bring along your short film. Okay, so could we see some of a few minutes?
Sure, definitely.
Then we get back to like we can talk about business side. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, let's look at your Pump and Dump classic.
What the deal with them coming on through? Motivation about to kill your whole crew. Styles unattainable, still you try. Why the blood clot, y'all niggas won't die? No, you can't handle the way I rock. Come a jack, y'all niggas take the #1 spot. Go jack coming through, catch it wreck. Now be the bomb, y'all just a bomb threat. East to the west, north side, body. What you want those, I'ma make y'all feel it. Toast to the crown, hold it down like a rapist. The big kid on some new type next shit. Clips in the mic, loaded up, now we make hits. Let you know, ain't nobody gon' stop me. Got you bumping from getting Nagasaki. Flow like a river in the tropics.
The hell is this, man?
Hey, look what the cat dragged in. Back so soon.
Hey, sexy. You missed me while I was on vacation? Hey, sweets. Who the hell parked in my spot?
Oh, that must have been Clarence. I think you're gonna have to park at the other end of the lot from now on. You see Clarence? He's the new hotshot around here.
Make money, make money, make money, make money. Woo, 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 woo. Go AJS Associate Security. Yeah. Woo, woo.
Hey, there's you, Val.
Get off me, spunker. Tell me, man. What's up with this Clarence guy?
Oh, looks like I know something that you don't know, eh, UV?
You're my friend.
Clarence. He's just the cat's pajamas around here. His sales are so high that if things keep going where they're going, his sales are gonna be even bigger than yours, UV. Well, at least that's what Big Boss says, so you better watch out, or he's gonna get your bonus.
What? That piece of crap rookie? No freaking way. What are you talking about? How could he possibly?
He's got this retard from the sticks. He's been working the guy, and it's finally paying off. I mean, actually, it's kind of funny. He's got this retard sending money like clockwork, like every 2 days, and he doesn't even know why he's giving it. He just gets all pumped up thinking that Clarence is his friend and all. There was this one time he went down the street and he bought this postcard from Hawaii, and he wrote on it how he was having such a great time and he wishes the freaking retard could be there with him. I mean, man, this is exactly the type of customer, the big jackpot customer that Big Boss keeps telling us about. Cool, eh? And it really is a beautiful thing. It's the stuff that dreams are made of.
Hello, my good friend. You're my friend. You're my friend. No, you're my friend.
Hi, we're back. So it's such a nice movie, huh? So we have a world premiere of your movie, Web TV. All right, so we talk about business. All right.
Sure.
Yeah, you talk about, say, you spend all your money, you spend about $5,000 to $7,000 making this short film.
That's right.
Do you expect any return on it?
For short films, actually, I mean, it depends on how you define return. As far as my career goes and its advancement, definitely I expect to have a return on the short film. But short films are generally not meant to be money-making projects. They're used for exposure. They're used as kind of like a calling card or a portfolio piece to show to a production company. I mean, if you're very lucky, then a distributor might pick it up or something like that and sell it overseas or sell it wherever in North America. But generally speaking, short films are not made to make money.
It's a kind of promotion material.
That's right. Long-term investment, basically.
So what's your main project? Have you had any plan after this short film?
Oh, sorry?
Any major project or any other film idea?
Yeah, actually I'm working on a movie right now. I'm in the editing process of a reality TV. No, it's I'm editing it like it's already shot.
Okay.
I filmed it with one of my actors from Pump and Dump in Jamaica. And it's kind of a reality TV type documentary. It's a comedy. It's about two white guys and the wacky adventures they go on when they're in a rural Jamaican village. And there's a lot of culture clash, a lot of funny, kind of wacky things that happen.
So this is a TV series, not just one
No,
TV.
it's just going to be one 90-minute movie. But it's to the feel of a reality TV show kind of thing. So it's kind of two guys bumbling around, and just the camera basically follows the different little adventures or trouble they get into living in this village.
So kind of documentary type of shooting.
That's right, documentary type movie.
How many people in the team?
Two.
Two.
Well, there was me, who's one of the actors and one of the filmmakers, and then my actor. But then, I guess, and then there's a lot of other people, Jamaicans, who are friends of ours, who are kind of taking their own little part and being characters.
So why choose Jamaica?
Well, it's kind of like Jamaica, chill, it's us. We have a friend of mine who's a Jamaican guy, and he invited us to go down there because he was throwing this huge village party. And he invited us to stay at his family's house in this village, so it was a completely different experience than a lot of tourists get when they go to a country like this. Because we weren't near any resort, we were in this village, and we just decided it would be a very interesting movie, so we thought we'd bring a video camera down there with us, and then as we were shooting, we could see a very, very apparent story coming out. When you kind of step back and look at us as characters in this movie and kind of everybody else and how they relate to us. So yeah, it was basically, we're doing a trip to Jamaica and we turned it into a movie.
I see. Same thing that you're investing your money on the real movie right now?
That's right, yeah.
Did you sell any, royalty before, or did you get the buyer before you saw the movie?
Well, this movie, this is like way low, this is very low budget, way more low budget than Pump and Dump, because we were already going to do the trip to Jamaica, and we just basically bought a camera from, I think, Zeller's, filmed the movie, and actually we didn't have to pay for the camera, because when we got back from Jamaica, we returned it to Zeller's. We weren't satisfied with the product.
I love you.
But anyways, so the other project that I'm working on right now is a screenplay for a feature film, and it's called Dead in Haiti, and it's about two Canadians. One guy goes to Haiti and he gets into a lot of trouble, and then his brother goes to Haiti to kind of bail him out, and there's a lot of voodoo and secret society and black magic elements to it, and it's going to be kind of a thriller mystery type. Yeah.
Okay, so it's on the script or the story?
Yeah, it's screenplay writing stage.
Screenwriter, yeah.
But that is going to be a bigger production. I hope to approach production companies and get funding for it other than my own.
Okay.
And
so you're looking for financier, right?
That's right.
Funder, so.
That's right.
Good. Okay. And what about Will? I know you're also a business entrepreneur.
Yes.
You have your first CD released a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, I release everything under my own company name. It's called will-w.com. That's my website also.
Yeah.
will-w.com.
A little bit of propaganda, that's fine.
It's okay. It's internet. We're allowed to. So basically, what I include under my company is my photography. I do headshots for actors. You know, they need, because any actor's ticket into the industry is that they need a headshot.
Yeah.
So what I do is, I offer affordable pricing on headshots, or anybody who wants to do modeling, they're going to need pictures of themselves.
Yeah, composite thing.
Yeah, for the portfolio, right? I do my album releases also under my company name. Also, I released a Chinese album.
Okay.
Back in 2002.
Yeah.
It was very well, received by local community. It's very similar. Thank you. And basically, I'm working now on an English album. It's a full English album that I hope to shop to maybe a record company to see if I can get distribution. I've already finished paying for the production of it.
Okay.
It's all produced. I just have to get it out. And distribution. Yeah. The expensive part of music, of course, it's not just making the music, hiring musicians to be on your record. Or paying for studio time. It's also just paying for marketing costs. Because to get your name out there, to get your name on a poster, to get you need money for that, and that's a really expensive part. So I hope to get my album distributed through a company that can help me with that aspect. Because it's not just about good music. You have to have a marketing push to get your name out there.
Okay. You too, like mostly, as I say, is a business entrepreneur. And produce and selling, distributing the intellectual products like CD, film, movie, right? So that's not, same as the traditional, like you manufacture a chair, sell it for distribution channel, and you get money return. And here, it could be great return, or could be a very bad return.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, and how you see this kind of like business, and what makes you like, spend your money on it and then dive into it.
Well, actually, it's interesting that you mention different types of companies and manufacturing, because the job that I have, my 9-to-5 job basically, is a brand manager for a manufacturing company called Pro.
Okay.
And so I get to see the whole process of designing the products, sending them away to a factory to get them produced, get them sent back here, and then distribute them in the marketplace. And because I'm a brand manager, I'm very much involved with the marketing of these products. And the difference between filmmaking and doing this type of business is, when you're dealing with products, you're basically building a brand name. So it's a work in progress. So you're building this brand name, Pro kitchenware items, and you're trying to get a perspective in the mind of the consumer that these products are of a certain quality and a certain style, and they're going to do this for you and that sort of thing. But with filmmaking, every single movie that you come out with, you're basically reinventing the wheel type thing. Like you have a movie, and that movie is like its own company. It's like you're basically a company of one product, because every movie's completely different one from the next. So you got to market it all on its own. You got to treat it like it's a whole new product basically every single time. A new brand, new product, new everything. Sometimes you have different aspects of it that are in your favor. For example, if you're a famous director, you can look at that as your brand. You're branding yourself. I'm a director who makes dark comedies, for example. And if you go watch my movies, it's going to be as good as my other movies type thing. So, I don't know, if filmmakers like a certain director, they'll be more apt to watch a movie by that director.
Your favorite is like Leon, the financial will give you $billions just to make your own movie, right? So you have to make your name out.
That's right. Yeah, so you're kind of like branding yourself, but then again, every movie stands on its own, so it's more like its own product, its own brand, its own everything. So you gotta, everything, you're starting all over again, trying to promote it and get it out there, basically.
That's true. But I think anything with art, as artists, we don't really think about, we're gonna make the money back at the beginning. A lot of times it's our passion, and our job is just to make sure it's a good movie or it's a good album at the end of the day. We want to make sure we have something that communicates to people, and if it communicates to people, there's a demand for it. Maybe possibly there's the possibility someone's going to want to pick it up and want to invest in it. So that's our job, is to make things that touch people and make people think.
That's right. I'm into making money as well.
Yes,
on
me
my
too.
projects. No, but it's true though. Yeah, it's all a process. You got to be passionate about it, to work hard at it, and you have to believe in the product or the movie.
And sometimes it also depends on some kind of luck, you know, and then the market acceptance.
That's right.
And timing.
Definitely, absolutely.
I think right now the whole business side of world is different. For example, you're making chairs. We have kind of $1 million inventory. You sit like thousands or chairs in your warehouse.
That's right.
Right? And for the same kind of money, you make a film, you get sold on DVD or silver or 10 rolls of film. Right? But that sometimes that will get you more return. For example, give one example. Right? Because China makes like low cost clothing. They sell like $5 a piece. If they want to get to sell $1 million, they have $5 million, they have to sell 1 million pieces. The Rolling Stone one concert in Hong Kong, they charged 1,000 US, 10 million US, just for one concert. Okay, and then you're talking about those, you just go there and sing 2-hour song and got 10 million. So that's what we see is intellectual products, or kind of, we can say is cultural products. Right? So it's a different kind of scenario.
That's right.
So, and on the other, you can compare, say sometimes the book publisher. Okay, the first book may not sell, and the second book, and the third book. All right, if it is you publish 10 books, one sells, it makes all the return back. Right, so that's the whole kind of thing.
That's right.
And all right, next question is that right now you're getting from nothing to where you're now. What's your next 2, 3 years, 5 years plan?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. My next, like within the next 5 years, where do I see myself? I still definitely want to be involved with my family's business, and I want to push my film career as far as I can as well. So I see myself.
So doing the 9-to-5 job, and then
doing my
overnight for the movie.
That's right, 9-to-5 job, and then my 5 to 9 job doing filmmaking or whatever. I don't know. I can make it happen somehow. But I see myself making feature films within the next 5 years, and that's basically it. Yeah, that's what I want to be doing.
Keep singing, acting.
Keep singing, acting. It's what I love to do. But definitely, there's a lack of Asian Canadian, Chinese Canadian artists out there, musicians, actors. You know, I want to be someone that you hear the name Wong, or you hear my artist name Will W. I want people to know who that is. That's my goal. I want people to hear that name, they know who it is. That's my next step.
Okay. For you, I got one more question.
Sure.
You know, being an Asian actor, right? It's especially in North America. Basically the film industry, the US is the biggest market. Even the famous like Asian actor like Jackie Chan. Yeah, we see that movie is still like kung fu comedy type. So not going into the real acting thing. I mean, you as an Asian artist, how do you see your part in Hollywood or in the film industry?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. They say that Asian actors or any actors from any visible minority would get 1/3 the amount of auditions say a Caucasian male actor would get. The industry, they've made a lot of protocols to try to get us on equal footing. I know with the union, the actors union in Toronto, you need 1/3 the amount of jobs a Caucasian actor would need to become a member of the actors union. So they acknowledge that, and they do make arrangements for actors, because obviously we don't have as many opportunities, and that's just the way it is. It's sad, but if you let that keep you down, you're not going to get anywhere.
That's true.
I auditioned for this role. It's not for an Asian person in particular. It could be anybody. And that's the mindset I want to walk into, being an actor. It shouldn't matter what I look like, the color of my skin, the language I speak at home. What matters is what I can bring to the table, what I can do with a character, and if I can make the best of that character and make it a good film, and contribute.
Okay, so good luck to you all, and then keep us informed about your development. We hope to see you like in Hollywood, and then probably you get a free trip to see you.
Sure.
Okay, all the best. All right.
Thanks a lot,
Thanks
Joseph.
for coming to TorontoTv, and then it's nice to talk to you.